My brothers and sisters, listen to me very carefully. My name is Abena Asante. I am from Ghana, born and raised in a small community in the Brong Ahafo region. Did you know there is something quietly present in your home right now, possibly silently working against your life without you even realizing it? It is an object that has cleverly entered under the guise of a symbol of sincere friendship, a warm expression of affection, or an innocent and harmless gift. However, from the moment it crosses your home's threshold, it has begun working against you silently, emitting continuous negative frequencies, attracting illness, arguments, financial loss, and blocking every effort you are pursuing. And the worst part is that object is still there, sitting on your bookshelf, hanging on your wall, or decorating your bedside while it silently drains your life energy and opens wide the door to invisible forces you cannot see. Today, I will reveal to you the 10 most dangerous objects that you should absolutely not accept as gifts. I will guide you exactly on how to identify if there is something in your home that has been charged with dark energy. And by the end of this message, you will understand the specific steps to neutralize and remove those objects before the damage becomes irreparable. But I need you to stay until the very last moment, because I will reveal the number one object present in 90% of homes. That is the most powerful gateway leading to curses. If you leave before that part, you might miss information that truly has the ability to protect your life. Before continuing, I need you to do something important right now. Go to the comment section and write, "I reject all dark energy disguised as gifts." When you write those words, you are making a powerful protective declaration. You are closing the energy doors that others have intentionally opened in your life. Do that right now. I will wait for you. And if you have not yet followed this channel, do so right now, because here we reveal ancestral knowledge that can protect you from attacks you do not even see coming. Share this message with someone you love, because you might be saving them from a situation they have not yet realized. Now let us go deep into what you need to know to protect yourself. Why can gifted objects become spiritual weapons? Let me explain something that our grandmothers once knew well, but most of us have forgotten. Objects are not simply inanimate things. They can be programmed, charged full of energy, and become antennas emitting negative frequencies. When someone knowledgeable about dark arts, about spiritual manipulation, about shadow work decides to use an object as an attack tool, that object becomes one of the most effective methods for causing spiritual harm. Because placing a curse on someone is far easier when you have a physical device operating 24 hours a day right inside their living space. Instead of trying to send energy attacks from a distance, that object acts like a perpetual transmitter, an antenna that never stops. It is there when you sleep, when you eat, when you relax. It continuously emits the frequency it was programmed with. And as long as you have not identified and removed it, the damage will continue to accumulate, seeping deeper into your life, affecting your entire family. The most cunning thing is that the recipient of the gift has no idea. They accept it with sincere gratitude, with pure innocence, thinking it is a beautiful symbol. They place it in the living room, in the bedroom, or in the kitchen, and from that moment, the silent destruction begins. Those who practice dark arts know this well. That is why they favor this method. You voluntarily bring the object into your home. You welcome it. You place it where you spend the most time. Now listen carefully, because what I am about to share will prove that this is not empty theory, but vivid reality. Here are the 10 most dangerous objects you should not accept as gifts. Object number 1, small statues or decorative figures, especially those representing human or animal forms. These are extremely dangerous because they can be charged with entities, with spirits carrying specific harmful intentions. Human form figures can be used like spiritual doorways, representing the person the dark practitioner wants to attack. Every time you look at that figure, every time you pass by it, the energy connection activates. If someone gives you a small statue, especially if it has an unclear origin, a strange appearance, or if it comes from someone you are not genuinely close to, remove it immediately, no matter how beautiful it looks, no matter how expensive it is. Object number 2, gifted mirrors. Mirrors are considered portals in most mystical traditions around the world. They can capture and reflect not only your physical image, but also your energy, your deepest essence. A mirror can be programmed to continuously return to you your own distorted energy, creating a self-destructive loop you cannot escape. They can also act as windows for the giver to observe your life energy, your home, and your every movement. Never accept a mirror from someone you do not completely trust. Object number 3, dried plants or flowers, especially in complex arrangements or in the form of wreaths. Dried plants represent ended life, stagnant energy, death disguised under a decorative appearance. In dark spiritual practice, charging dried flowers with curses is very common because dead plants act as perfect containers for decaying, declining, and ending energy. If someone gives you a dried flower arrangement, especially if they have dark colors like black, deep purple, or blood red, or if they are in a circular form like wreaths, refuse them. Do not bring them into your home. And if you already have them, take them out today. Object number 4, use jewelry or personal accessories, especially necklaces, bracelets, and rings. Jewelry absorbs the energy of those who wear it over the years. These pieces carry the entire energy history of the previous owner. If you receive jewelry from someone whose life is full of tragedy, illness, and misery, you are literally placing that energy on your skin. And if the jewelry has been intentionally charged through dark rituals, the damage can be devastating because it directly contacts your body and your energetic field, absorbing your life energy while continuously draining you. Only accept jewelry from people you know deeply and trust completely. Object number 5, pillows or any fabrics placed on the bed gifted by someone suspicious. Listen to this very carefully because this is one of the most dangerous categories. Your bed is the most sacred space in your home. It is where you spend a third of your life in a completely vulnerable state. When you sleep, your energy barriers lower. You open up and receive without defense. A negatively charged object on your bed can influence your dreams, create continuous nightmares, and drain your life energy while you sleep without you being able to do anything to protect yourself. I have witnessed cases where people accepted gifted pillows or blankets and began suffering from chronic insomnia, sleep paralysis, and night terrors. Everything stopped the moment they removed the object from the bed. Never allow fabrics of suspicious origin into your resting space. Object number 6, candles, especially those with dark colors or strange smells. Candles are excellent ritual tools. They are used for both light work and dark work. A candle can be prepared with cursed oil, with harmful herbs, with intentions programmed directly into the wax. And when you light a candle gifted by someone suspicious, you are activating everything that has been placed inside it. You are releasing and dispersing that energy throughout your space. If someone gives you candles and you feel any discomfort, if the candles have an unpleasant or strange smell, if they carry very dark colors like black or deep brown, do not light them. Remove them immediately. Object number 7, paintings or artworks, especially those with disturbing, sad, or violent imagery. Visual art has great power over your mind and your energy field. A painting is something you will see every day, multiple times a day. Every time you look at it, you are receiving the frequency it carries. If that image is charged with negativity, if it represents death, misery, or despair, you are literally filling your home with that dark frequency. I have seen entire families fall into depression after hanging a gifted painting carrying deeply heavy energy. Trust your instincts. If a painting makes you feel uncomfortable, heavy, sad, or anxious, do not hang it, no matter if refusing appears rude. Your well-being is more important than any social convention. Object number 8, dolls or antique toys, especially those that appear used or carry a dark history. This is especially important if you have young children. Children are extremely sensitive to energy. They can be affected far more severely than adults. A doll can be used as a container for dark entities. It can carry the disturbed energy of the previous owner. It can have been specifically prepared as a cursed object. If your children begin having terrible nightmares, displaying strange behavior, or experiencing unexplained fear after receiving a gifted toy, examine that toy immediately. And if your intuition tells you something is wrong, remove it from your home that very night. Object number 9, books, especially those on dark themes, negative mysticism, or those that create a sense of disturbance when you handle them. Books are containers of information and energy. Written words carry real power. A book can fill your mind with the ideas and energy it contains. If someone gives you a book covering dark rituals, shadow entities, or sinister practices, or if the book creates a gut reaction of rejection when you touch it, do not read it. Do not keep it in your home. Information entering your mind carries real energetic consequences. It can open doors in your consciousness that are very difficult to close afterward. And object number 10, the most deceptive of all, amulets or charms of suspicious origin. Many times the giver themselves may not fully understand what they are offering. People gift objects they purchased at spiritual markets or from unreliable practitioners. They say these items are for protection, when in reality they carry the opposite energy. A genuine protective amulet must come from a reliable and trustworthy spiritual source. It must be prepared with clear intentions of light and must resonate positively with you when you hold it. If you receive an amulet from someone suspicious and begin experiencing problems after keeping it, remove it immediately. Now that you know the 10 most dangerous objects, I want you to do something. Pause for a moment. Look around your home. Do you have any of these objects? Do you remember who gave it to you? Do you remember when it arrived? And do you remember if your problem started after that object entered your home? Think carefully and then come back, because now I will teach you exactly how to determine if an object has been negatively charged. Here are 5 unmistakable signs that an object carries dark energy. Sign number 1, your own gut reaction to the object. If something creates unexplained discomfort, if you prefer not to look at it, if you avoid the area where it is, if you feel a sense of repulsion, even without knowing why, your intuition is sending you a warning. Never ignore that feeling. Your body, your spirit, and your subconscious know how to detect energy danger. Even if your rational mind does not understand why, that discomfort is not random. It is your internal alarm system working perfectly. Sign number 2, problems in your life start or intensify significantly after that object enters your home. If you can trace a clear timeline between the object's arrival and the start of misfortune, illness, conflict, or financial loss, that object is highly suspicious. Ask yourself when exactly this chain of difficulty began. What new thing entered my home around that time? Who gave it to me and for what reason? If the answers do not make sense, if that person had no genuine reason to give you something, that is a clear warning signal. Sign number 3, animals and children react negatively to the object. Animals possess far sharper energy perception than adult humans. If your dog or cat consistently avoids a certain area in the home, if it reacts nervously near a certain object, if it behaves strangely without obvious reason, pay attention immediately. Children are also naturally sensitive. If your child says a certain toy frightens them, that they do not want to be in the room where a certain statue is, or that they have nightmares when sleeping near a certain object, listen to them. Adults have been conditioned to override our natural sensitivity, but animals and children retain it fully. They perceive what we have learned to ignore. Sign number 4. The object displays unusual behavior. It shifts position on its own. It falls without clear cause. It appears somewhere you did not place it. This sounds dramatic, but it is more common than most people realize. Objects that have been strongly charged with entities or negative energy can manifest physical activity because the energy they contain seeks to draw your attention and be acknowledged. If a gifted object displays this type of activity, it must be removed immediately using the steps I am about to share. Sign number 5. You experience specific negative patterns in the direct presence of the object. For example, if a certain painting is in your bedroom and only in that bedroom you experience continuous nightmares, or if a certain statue is in your living room and only there the most intense family conflicts occur. That correlation is not random, it is cause and effect. Test by temporarily removing the object from that space and observe whether the pattern stops. If it stops when the object is absent, you have your confirmation. That object must leave your home permanently. And now to the critical part that you must stay for. Here is exactly what to do if you determine you have a dangerous object in your home. Do not leave, because these steps can protect your life. Here is the process to safely remove a charged object. Listen to every word of this section with complete attention, because if done incorrectly, you could make the situation worse. If done correctly, you can completely neutralize the damage. First and most importantly, do not touch a suspected object directly with bare hands. Use thick gloves, use a cloth, use any physical barrier between your skin and the object. Direct contact can transfer some of the negative energy to you. The removal process step by step. Step 1. Obtain a black fabric bag large enough to contain the object. Black fabric absorbs and contains negative energy, preventing it from dispersing throughout your home. If you do not have black fabric, use any dark and thick material. You also need coarse sea salt, a generous amount, at least a full kilogram. Salt is the most powerful universal cleanser available in the natural world. Step 2. Choose a moment when you can be focused and present. Before touching the object, stand before it and declare clearly and firmly, all negative power contained in this object is now neutralized by divine light. No dark energy can harm me, my loved ones, or this space. We are completely protected. This object will be removed and its influence ends now. So it is, and so it shall be. These words establish a protective field around you before you handle the object. They are foundational. Do not skip them. Step 3. Using gloves or with your hand wrapped in cloth, take the object carefully. Some strongly charged objects may feel unusually heavy, warm, or simply uncomfortable to hold. That is the negative energy they carry manifesting physically. Step 4. Place the object immediately inside the black fabric bag. Cover the object completely with all the coarse salt you have. Bury it thoroughly in the salt inside the bag. Salt will begin absorbing the negative charge immediately. You may notice the heavy feeling starting to dissipate. Step 5. Close the bag securely, tie it or seal it so that nothing can escape. This sealed package must be taken out of your home immediately. Do not leave it even one more night inside your property. Not in the garage, not in the yard. It must leave completely. Step 6. Take it yourself or ask someone you completely trust to take it to one of these places. An empty lot far from where you live, a large public waste bin in another area of the city, a flowing river where it can be carried away by the current. Never discard a charged object into your own waste bin. Never bury it in your own garden. It must be removed completely from your area. Step 7. If the object carries particularly strong energy, if you feel an intense atmosphere before discarding it, you can physically break or destroy it. This helps fragment and disperse the negative energy it holds. But do this carefully. Use tools. Do not use your hands directly. And after breaking it, still wrap it in cloth with salt and remove it from your property as described. This does not end with removal. After taking the charged object out of your home, there is one absolutely necessary final step: a complete energetic cleansing of your space. After removing the object, you must cleanse the energy of the area where it was kept and your entire home. The object leaves energetic residue, traces that need to be fully cleared. The most effective method is with smoke from white sage or Palo Santo. Burn the sage or Palo Santo and move the smoke through every corner of your home, especially where the object was placed. Declare clearly while doing this, all negative residue is being cleansed now. All traces of darkness are being transformed into light. My home is a sacred place. Only what serves my highest good can remain here. Open all windows while doing this. Allow fresh air in and negativity out. Let your home breathe again. After cleansing with smoke, sprinkle coarse salt into the corners of all rooms in your home. Leave it there for 24 hours. The salt will continue absorbing any remaining negative residue clinging to the walls, floors, and atmosphere. After 24 hours, sweep all that salt from inside your home toward the door. You are literally sweeping all negativity out of your space. Collect that salt and discard it into a public waste bin outside your property. Finally, you also need to cleanse yourself. You have been exposed to that object's energy and you need to clear your own energetic field. Take a cleansing bath with sea salt. While bathing, visualize that the water is washing away completely any energetic connection between you and that charged object. Visualize yourself as completely clean, completely free, and completely protected. And now the most important section of all: how to protect your home so this never happens again. The best defense is prevention. Here are the protections you must implement today. Protection number 1: keep coarse salt in the corners of your home permanently. Replace this salt every month. Collect the old salt and discard it outside the home. Then place fresh salt. Salt acts as a continuous cleanser, absorbing any negativity attempting to enter your space. Protection number 2: keep living plants in your home, especially near entrances. Living plants naturally raise the vibration of your space, absorb density, and cleanse the atmosphere. Plants are powerful and natural protective allies. Protection number 3: Develop the sacred habit of blessing everything that enters your home. When you receive a gift, any gift, before bringing it fully into your space, hold it for a moment and say in your mind or quietly aloud, if this object carries blessings, it is welcome here. If it carries anything contrary to my highest good, let it be neutralized now by divine light. This creates an energetic filter at your entrance where only what serves you can pass through. Protection number 4, trust deeply and completely in your intuition. If something feels wrong, refuse it. You do not need to provide detailed explanation. You do not need to justify your decision. You can simply say, thank you for the thought, but I am not able to accept this, and that is enough. Do not concern yourself with appearing impolite. Your energetic health is infinitely more important than any social convention. Protection number 5, educate your family, especially children, about accepting gifts from strangers or distant acquaintances without consulting you first. Children are often the targets of this type of spiritual operation because they are more energetically open. Teach them without frightening them that some gifts may not be appropriate and that they should always show you anything they receive before bringing it home. Protection number 6. If you discover that someone specific has gifted you a negatively charged object with clear intention, you need to make a serious decision about that relationship. This person has intentionally attempted to harm you. That is not small matter. You do not need to confront them directly because that could escalate the situation, but you need to cut all connections with that person. Protect yourself completely. Final wisdom, discernment without paranoia. I want to close with a reflection that needs to be engraved deep in your heart. We live in a world where not everything is as it appears, where hidden intentions exist, where people smile to your face while working against you in the shadows. This truth should not make you paranoid or cause you to distrust everyone around you, but it should teach you wise discernment. There is a significant difference between naivety and caution. Naivety makes you vulnerable. Caution makes you strong. Most gifts you receive in life are sincere. They are given with real love, pure intentions, and genuine generosity. But the few that are not can cause disproportionate and lasting harm. That is why it is completely worth applying these measures, developing this sensitivity, and keeping these protections active. It is better to occasionally decline a gift without obvious reason than to accept one that could severely disrupt your life. I bless you now with sharp discernment to identify what is authentic and what is disguised, with courage to refuse what does not resonate regardless of social pressure, with divine protection over your home, automatically deflecting all dark influences. May your space be a sacred and inviolable place. May only what serves your highest good cross your threshold. May you live in deep peace knowing that you are protected and vigilant. Now I need you to do something else. Go back to the comment section and write, "My home is a sacred place protected from all darkness." Write it right now. That is your second protective declaration. And tell me in the comments, have you ever received a gift that made you feel uncomfortable? Have you experienced unexplained problems after a certain object entered your home? Share your story below because your experience can help others recognize the signs. And we can protect each other by sharing this ancestral knowledge. If this message helped you, if it opened your eyes, if it gave you tools to protect yourself, engage with it right now. Follow this channel if you have not yet, because I will continue revealing ancestral wisdom that can genuinely protect your life. Activate notifications so you do not miss anything. And share this message with the people you love, with your family, with close friends, because this information can protect them from a dangerous situation they do not yet realize they are in. Now I am speaking again from a place most people never see, a place hidden behind smiles, gifts, and spiritual language. There is a world that operates quietly, patiently, and strategically, and its greatest strength is disguise. In that world, nothing is random and nothing is given without intention. I learned early that the easiest way to enter someone's life is not through fear, but through familiarity. You do not attack openly, you offer. You do not threaten, you bless. You do not appear dark, you appear helpful, kind, spiritual, and generous. Many items that look completely harmless are carefully prepared vessels. Words are spoken over them, assignments are attached to them, permissions are coded into them. When the object changes hands, access changes hands. The moment it is accepted, a door is acknowledged. Most people think that belief is required for these things to operate, but that is not true. Spiritual systems do not wait for agreement. They operate on contact, acceptance, and placement. Once an item enters your space, it begins to interact with your atmosphere. It watches, reports, influences, and sometimes drains. Some items are meant to bring confusion, others bring delay, others bring sickness, others cause division. They do not even look suspicious because many times they are instructed to appear ordinary and unthreatening. In the dark system, the most effective carriers are ordinary things: food prepared with intention, clothing given at key moments, oils, soaps, perfumes, powders, books, spiritual items, souvenirs, dolls, rings, bracelets, shoes, even free gifts from gatherings. Nothing looks harmful because it is not meant to. If it looked dangerous, it would fail its assignment. That is why discernment matters more than excitement. People often ask why problems begin suddenly after receiving something. Sudden heaviness, strange dreams, unexplained fear, loss of peace, constant fatigue, financial blockage, recurring conflict, relational disruption, spiritual dryness. These are not always psychological or coincidental. Sometimes they are responses to something introduced into the environment. In that world, objects are used as points of legal access. They are placed, worn, consumed, or stored to maintain presence. Once inside, they do not rush, they wait, they observe patterns. They look for moments of weakness, emotional pain, grief, anger, loneliness. Timing is everything. The danger is curiosity. When people sense something is wrong, they begin to analyze, keep, test, or store the item instead of removing it. That hesitation strengthens the connection. Darkness thrives on delay. It does not need permanence, it only needs permission over time. Another mistake is giving the item to someone else. Transfer does not cancel assignment, it multiplies exposure. In the systems I walked away from, disposal was taken very seriously. You never kept what was no longer needed, and you never passed it on carelessly. Separation was immediate and final. There is also a strong emotional manipulation involved. Politeness, fear of offense, respect for elders, cultural pressure, and guilt are often used to keep people holding on to harmful things. Many remain bound not because they are powerless, but because they are hesitant. Spiritual safety is more important than social comfort. What is genuinely pure does not bring unrest. What comes from divine light does not confuse, monitor, or steal peace. People also underestimate the power of environment. Your home is not just a physical space, it is a spiritual territory. What you allow inside participates in shaping your outcomes. Objects carry histories. Some are tied to rituals, grief, death, jealousy, competition, or covenants made long before they reached you. When placed in your space, they begin to speak even without sound. They align with patterns already present and amplify them. That is why two people can receive the same thing and experience different effects. Assignment responds to opportunity. The safest response when something feels wrong is not debate but removal, not prolonged investigation, not storage while you think about it. Separation, a clean break. Divine light does not negotiate with darkness, it displaces it. Many people want to fight spiritually while holding on to physical gateways. That creates unnecessary battles. Wisdom avoids what warfare must later confront. I am not speaking from fear, but from knowledge paid for at a high cost. I have seen how small, ignored things grow into long-term oppression. I have seen how families struggle for years because of one item introduced during a vulnerable season. I have seen how freedom becomes complicated because access points are still physically present. Freedom is not only about prayer, it is about boundaries. When you learn to value peace, clarity, and alignment, you become less impressed by gifts and more attentive to fruit. Not everything given is meant to be kept. Not every hand that offers is clean. Protection begins with awareness, continues with discernment, and is enforced by decisive action. What you remove today may be what your future was waiting for. I am speaking again from the same place of experience, not theory, not rumor, but lived exposure to systems that thrive on ignorance and assumption. One of the greatest lies people are taught is that danger announces itself. In reality, the most effective traps are subtle, patient, and familiar. In the dark world, success is measured by how unnoticed an operation remains. If an object causes immediate chaos, it has failed its long-term purpose. That is why many items are designed to appear neutral or even spiritually beneficial. They blend into daily life, religious practice, cultural customs, and moments of vulnerability. The goal is not shock, it is integration. Once integrated, influence becomes easier. Objects are rarely powerful on their own. Their strength lies in the permissions attached to them. Permission is not always verbal, it can be emotional, it can be situational. Grief opens doors, celebration opens doors, desperation opens doors, transition opens doors. Births, funerals, weddings, illness, relocations, financial hardship, and spiritual searching are prime windows. That is when gifts arrive most often. In the systems I left, timing mattered more than the object itself. An item given at the right vulnerable moment carries far more weight than one given randomly. People assume that because something was received in a sacred place or from someone who appears spiritual, it must be safe. That assumption is exploited constantly. Spiritual language is one of the most effective disguises because it lowers defenses. When people stop questioning and start assuming, monitoring becomes easy. Objects can be used to observe patterns, emotional cycles, prayer habits, relationships, and weaknesses. They become anchors tying spiritual activity to a physical location. That is why some people feel heavy only at home, restless only at night, blocked only in specific areas of life. The influence is localized. Another misunderstanding is thinking that the intention of the receiver matters more than the intention of the sender. In spiritual systems, initiation comes from the one who prepares, not the one who receives. A person can be completely innocent and still be affected. Innocence does not cancel spiritual law. Ignorance does not reverse activation. Many people carry things for years without realizing why their lives feel stagnant or conflicted. They pray more intensely, fast longer, attend more gatherings, but never address what is physically present. That creates exhaustion. The pressure builds because the environment contradicts the prayer. Light is invited verbally, while darkness remains materially. This contradiction creates internal tension. Dreams become strange, focus weakens, motivation drops, discernment becomes clouded. Another tactic used is emotional attachment. Items are linked to memories, relationships, or important events so that removal feels like betrayal or loss. People are taught to honor objects instead of honoring their peace. In the dark world, sentimental value is leveraged strategically. The longer an object stays, the deeper its integration to daily rhythm. It becomes background. That is when it works best. Many assignments are slow. They are not meant to destroy quickly, but to delay gradually. Delay dreams, delay clarity, delay movement, delay opportunity, delay healing, delay connection, delay progress. Just enough to cause frustration without an obvious cause. People begin to blame themselves. They internalize failure. That self-blame is useful in dark systems because it weakens resistance. Another mistake is spiritualizing everything except responsibility. People want prayer to fix what removal would solve. They want freedom without separation. They want breakthrough without boundaries. In the systems I knew, boundaries were respected more than prayers spoken without accompanying action. Once an object was removed, the assignment collapsed. No debate, no prolonged struggle, no extended confrontation. Access denied. That is why fear is often used to stop people from acting decisively. Fear of retaliation, fear of being wrong, fear of causing offense, fear of looking foolish. Fear keeps doors open, courage closes them. People also underestimate how common these practices are. They imagine complexity where simplicity exists. Not every operation is dramatic. Many are basic. Prepare, assign, deliver, observe, maintain. The simplicity is what makes it effective. People are busy looking for spectacular signs while ignoring subtle shifts. A loss of joy, a change in sleep patterns, recurring minor difficulties, emotional numbness, constant irritation, lack of clear direction. These are early indicators. They are warnings, not conclusions. Discernment is not paranoia. It is awareness paired with wisdom. Healthy discernment does not accuse people. It evaluates effects. You do not need to prove intent to protect your space. You only need to observe the fruit. Peace is a valid measure. Clarity is a valid measure. Alignment is a valid measure. When something consistently disrupts these, it does not belong. Spiritual maturity is not measured by how much you tolerate. It is measured by how well you guard. The kingdom of darkness does not fear loud declarations as much as it fears clean environments. Clean environments leave nothing to attach to. Once awareness is restored, action becomes simple. Separation restores order. Removal restores authority. Space clears, atmosphere shifts, the mind settles, direction returns, not because of superstition, but because access has been revoked, and what had no right to stay is no longer present. I speak this from understanding how attachment works and how people underestimate the power of what they allow to remain around them. In the hidden systems, nothing survives without reinforcement. Influence must be fed, acknowledged, or tolerated to continue operating. That is why removal is such a significant threat to dark operations. Many people think protection is about adding more prayers, more rituals, more declarations. But in reality, protection often begins with subtraction. What you remove determines what can no longer speak. What you refuse determines what loses authority. In the world I walked away from, persistence mattered more than intensity. An item did not need to overpower someone, it only needed to stay. Staying allowed it to sink into routines, habits, emotional cycles, and spiritual rhythms. Once synchronized, resistance weakened naturally. People began to feel tired without reason, distracted during prayer, restless during rest, numb during moments that should bring joy. These were not dramatic attacks but quiet erosions. That is the preferred method. Loud chaos attracts attention. Silent disruption goes unnoticed. Many people live with interference for years because it never crosses the threshold of obvious crisis. It simply dulls life, dulls vision, dulls hunger, dulls confidence, dulls connection. That dullness is productive in dark systems because it keeps people functional but stagnant. They survive but do not advance. They exist but do not build. They declare but do not move. Objects play a role in this because they anchor influence in the physical realm. Humans are physical beings. What surrounds the body affects the spirit more than most realize. Smell, touch, sight, placement, proximity, all of it matters. That is why certain items are meant to be worn, slept near, placed at entrances, stored under beds, hidden in corners, or displayed openly. Placement determines range. Range determines effect. People often focus on intention and ignore positioning. In the systems I knew, positioning was entirely strategic. An item placed where decisions are made influences choices. An item placed where rest happens influences dreams. An item placed where prayer happens influences focus. None of this requires the receiver's belief. It requires only presence. Another overlooked factor is familiarity. Once something becomes familiar, it becomes invisible. People stop noticing it. They stop questioning it. That is when it becomes most effective. Familiarity lowers vigilance. That is why some people only feel relief when they leave their home or change environments temporarily. The influence is not following them. It is waiting for them when they return. The pattern resumes. This creates confusion. People assume the problem is internal when it is actually environmental. They try to fix the soul while ignoring the space. In the dark world, environments are cultivated intentionally. Atmosphere is engineered. Light disrupts that atmosphere, but only if darkness is not being continuously hosted. Hosting does not require worship. It requires allowance. Allowance can come from fear, sentiment, habit, or ignorance. Many people are unknowing hosts because they never revoked access. Revocation is an act, not merely a feeling. It is not enough to feel uncomfortable. Action is what closes doors. Another manipulation is the idea that strength means endurance. People are taught to tolerate what they should remove. They are praised for surviving instead of being encouraged to separate. Endurance has its place. But endurance of avoidable interference is not wisdom. In the systems I left, endurance was exploited. The longer someone endured, the more normalized their limitation became. Limitation then shaped identity. Identity shaped decisions. Decisions shaped destiny, all from something small that stayed too long. People also misunderstand spiritual cleanliness. Cleanliness is not perfection, it is clarity. It is knowing what belongs and what does not. It is choosing alignment over attachment. Some objects are not obviously harmful in appearance but carry the wrong assignment. Their history matters, their preparation matters, their intention matters. When something carries a history that conflicts with your direction, it creates friction. That friction drains energy. People feel like life requires more effort than it should. Simple things feel heavy. Progress feels forced. Joy feels brief. These are signs of misalignment. Misalignment is corrected by removal, not negotiation. Darkness does not need to be convinced. It needs to be denied. Many people delay because they want certainty. They want proof. They want confirmation before acting. Delay favors interference. Clarity often comes after action, not before. Peace follows decisive movement, not prolonged debate. Another common error is attempting to cleanse what should simply be discarded. Not everything is meant to be purified. Some things are meant to be removed completely. Attempting to cleanse can maintain the attachment. Attachment maintains access. Access maintains influence. Simplicity breaks the cycle. Separation is final. In the world I knew, finality was respected. Once access was cut, reassignment was required. And reassignment took effort and resources. That is why decisive people were avoided as targets. Indecision was preferred. The more decisive someone became, the less attractive they were as an object of targeting. Decisiveness signals authority. Authority disrupts systems built entirely on permission. People who guard their space, their time, their environment, and their boundaries are difficult to entangle, not because they are aggressive, but because they are clear. Clarity leaves little room for manipulation. Many people underestimate how much clarity changes everything. When clarity enters a space, confusion leaves. When confusion leaves, influence weakens. When influence weakens, patterns break. Patterns breaking restores momentum. Momentum restores hope. Hope restores direction. Direction restores strength. Strength restores discernment. Discernment sustains protection. This is not fear-based living, it is awareness-based living. Fear freezes, awareness acts, fear asks what if, awareness asks what belongs. The question is not whether something is popular, traditional, gifted, expensive, or sentimental. The question is whether it aligns with peace, clarity, and growth. If it does not belong regardless of its appearance, source, or story. Holding on to what disrupts you is not loyalty, humility, or faith. It is exposure. Exposure over time reshapes outcomes quietly, steadily, and consistently, until a person looks back and wonders where momentum went, why progress slowed, why joy faded, why prayer feels distant, why rest feels shallow, why effort feels heavy, why clarity feels rare, why life feels paused without explanation. I bless you, my family. I will see you very soon in the next message. Until then, may the divine bless you and keep you. May divine light shine upon you and be gracious to you. May the favor of the divine be lifted over your life, granting you a long, satisfied, and victorious journey. Go well, protected and clear. I will see you in the next one.